Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. I do apologize for the lighting. I'm doing this one inside. I usually do it outside. But anyway, getting right into this, it's been a couple of days. I haven't done a video in a couple of days and compelled to do one. Now, a couple of things in the news. First of all, that Nancy Mace, what a horrible person. I think I saw Ron Filipkowski's comment on Twitter, or I think it was Blue Sky. I've been on Blue Sky, by the way. You should check it out. It's if you haven't, people are leaving Twitter. A lot of people are leaving. Some are staying on both. Like people who have over 1 million followers, like a Brooklyn Dad, Defiant Dad, or Joe from Jers. A lot of people. Like you don't want to just abandon, but they've gone over to Blue Sky. But anyway, Ron Filipkowski, Nancy said that Nancy Mace over the past couple of days, 129 tweets or excretions about this Congresswoman, Sarah McBride from Delaware. And, she's just adamant about, this trans woman using the ladies' bathroom. She has a penis. She has a penis. And I'm offended by this. She's doing all these videos, these crazy violent videos where she's ripping down things. I mean, this Nancy Mace is a disgusting, horrible, hateful monster. More on her. Okay. The other thing I want to talk about is, yes, Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz, as we all know, has dropped out. All the information is coming out. And I guess he thought he wasn't going to get confirmed anyway. So I guess it's a good news, but there's the new one right away tonight. Pam Bondi, the AG from Florida. Here's a woman who was, during I think it was 2014, the Trump University was being sued, and she was the DA, and Trump sent her a $25,000 donation gift, and all of a sudden that case goes away. I mean, you talk about absolute corruption, but from what I've been hearing, is because she's not Matt Gaetz, even though she's evil and corrupt and will absolutely do Trump's bidding. I guess, the bar has somewhat come down. So that's what I've been hearing. I mean, this is going to be a rough 2 years. So another thing I wanted to talk about is Sam Harris is on the Bulwark. People don't know the Bulwark. They are Republicans who are never Trumpers. So I think they started their podcast in like 2016. So you have like Tim Miller, Sarah Longwell, George Conway, the lawyer who was married to that sleazebag. What's her name? The other Kellyanne Conway, who's a big Trumper, just an absolute sleazebag. But let me just play a little bit of this. He's talking about why. He has a plethora of reasons. He just put out a really interesting blog about what happened. And I kind of agree with Sam here, where Kamala Harris did not disavow, like the whole, speaking of the trans thing, like the whole ridiculousness about prisoners, like even prisoners, not just regular people, prisoners who are men who transition, and that the government's going to pay for. It's like the most outrageous thing. You saw these commercials. But check this out. Let me just go back a little bit. No, here we are. Okay.
An ad that went something like, she's for they, them, he's for you, right? And, explicitly invoking her apparent support back in 2020 for trans.
I'm just going to show this here. I'm not going to bother downloading. It's just for a minute. The point that I was just talking about, just listen.
Under reassignment surgeries for incarcerated illegal immigrants and at taxpayer expense.
Oh, and immigrants.
So like that policy, the fact that she couldn't sister soldier that policy and express in the current campaign why, how her thinking has changed on that point. A point which really is like Onion article level comedy in our current politics, right? I mean, it's insane to think that's how we should be spending our money. But she couldn't disavow it. All she said, as you probably remember in one of those interviews, is, I will follow the law. I will follow the law. And she kept repeating this phrase, I will follow the law, without offering a single sane syllable on the the issue of gender dysphoria and trans activism and the way in which it has bent almost everything left of center in our politics in a way that's unacknowledged. I mean, even like Latinx, right? Latinx is this insane
All right, let me
rebranding.
He goes on and on. Okay. Sam is interesting because both sides respect him. You got to respect the guy. The guy is brilliant. He's such a brilliant speaker. He's one of the most eloquent speakers in his writing. I have a couple of his books. And he definitely has his haters on both sides too. But the thing that MAGA likes about, oh boy, this lighting is terrible. Let me try to, anyway. But the thing that MAGA and Republicans, whatever, not just MAGA, but just mainstream establishment Republicans. Well, MAGA, but though for the most part, they do like the fact that he is definitely anti-woke, and he's very, very outspoken. So he pisses off both sides. So there you go. He pisses off, but then there's both sides alike, and no question about it, he's a never Trumper. But anyway, what he was talking about, and I felt the same way talking to my wife, like, why, speaking of Kamala, why doesn't she disavow this? Why not a more strident response to this? That ridiculous ad, like, not only was it just prisoners, but it was immigrants, illegal immigrants who were having sex changes and were paying for it. I mean, just absolutely bizarre. Like, it's so preposterous. And by the way, this is all on the right. Kamala Harris never brought it up. That's the whole thing. We never brought it up. It was all on the right. They just weaponized the whole thing. So anyway, talking about the trans thing, I said I was going to get back to this. Nancy Mace, what a disgusting, horrible, hateful person. And what I think is most disgusting is that these MAGA people who latch on and say they're the Christians. They're the Christians. They latch on to this, and they literally do the opposite of what Jesus would do. In every respect, the opposite of what Jesus would do. Embracing love and compassion for even your enemies. Like, absolutely, Jesus would not, the death penalty for these illegal immigrants, all this stuff. Or this woman, Sarah McBride, I mean, you talk about disgusting, and just these people are the worst. I mean, listen, do I understand these people, like trans people? I mean, they're human beings just like you, Nancy Mace, okay? I'm sorry they're not exactly they don't fit into your whole thing, so you have to hate them, like completely dehumanize them and say they're gross. Like, yeah, do I think it's unusual that a man who wants to transition or all of this, it's odd. But this person is a human being. And listening to Sarah McBride, just an incredible woman, brilliant, smart, the whole thing. It's just, that's why, the left or the Democrats are the party of, openness, open-mindedness, the whole thing, and love and compassion. All right. So these people are so disgusting, bottom line. And then, and again, the Matt Gaetz thing. So I'll do some more on that. When I finish this Bulwark and Sam Harris, I'll do a whole video on it, breaking it down, because it really is good. I'll put the link here in the comment section as well. Okay, so this is tough. There's already, as we know, all this chaos, incredible chaos, and he's still, this is November 20th. We're Thanksgiving, and we got another month and a half until he's in. I mean, just hold on, So, all right. On that note, good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. By the way, that's Mark Twain. When asked what is happiness, and that's what he said. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy, laid-back conscience. And then I always end it with peace, love, and understanding. Okay, peace, everyone. Oh, and yes, one other thing I neglected to mention, the election results. Yes, no landslide, no mandate. That what we initially thought this election was a landslide, but no, not at all. In fact, this was one of the closest elections in recent history. And in fact, Trump won by fewer votes than Hillary beat Trump in 2016. So no mandate. They did not win in a landslide. It was a very close race. All right, more to come. Make sure you like and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm. Peace.